In 1853, men with vision and means see opportunities. As the great trees of the forest were cut, this made room for homes, schools, churches, and stores. Entrepreneurs with the names Dyckman, Morehouse, and Hale arrived to start various business ventures. The wilderness was pushed further back, and life became a little easier for the first families of South Haven. The Forest House, which was located on the southeast corner of Phoenix and Center Streets, was the first hotel in South Haven, and about half of the population at the time lived there. On the third floor was a hall that spanned the full length of the building. Social gatherings, political meetings, and religious services were held in the hall. From 1853 through 1855, the population of South Haven reached 200. On the national scene, in 1855, Franklin Pierce became the 14th American president. The Republican Party was organized, and in the state of Kansas, there were violent clashes between pro- and anti-slavery factions. In the same period, 400,000 immigrants arrived in New York City. In Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the first portion of the Soo Locks were finished. This allowed ships to carry iron and copper more easily. As a result, the Upper Peninsula's mining industry takes off. In 1857, James Buchanan becomes the 15th President of the United States. Unfortunately, during that year, a financial panic strikes that would affect Europe as well as America. In South Haven, lumbering became the major industry with the help of the Black River, which was cleared out for 25 miles. Shipping and warehousing became available, and a tannery business begins on the channel. With new families moving into the area, additional space is needed for a school. As such, construction begins on the first section of the Central School building. In 1859, Darwin publishes his theory of evolution. In 1860, peaches are shipped to Wisconsin. Farming is starting to become big industry, with shipping routes being created. In 1861, Abraham Lincoln is elected to become our 16th president. Unfortunately, it was also during that year that South Carolina becomes the first state to secede from the Union. On the world front, French biologist Louis Pasteur developed his germ theory. His food preparation process became known as pasteurization. Over in Russia, under the reign of Emperor Alexander II, the Emancipation Edict abolished serfdom. On April 12, 1861, the American Civil War broke out. From 1861 through 1865, Michigan would send 90,000 men, nearly a quarter of the state's male population, to fight in the war. Over 30 regiments were sent from Michigan, including the 102nd Regiment, which was the first all-African American infantry in the Union. In 1865, as Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States, was fleeing the Confederate collapse, he was captured by members of the 4th Michigan Cavalry. Meanwhile, as South Haven was trying to recover from the war, people continued to move forward, seeking and working for a better future. On April 22, 1866, a group of believers gathered together as an informal body called the Baptist Conference. Dr. William Hewson and Reverend A.C. Merritt, both ordained Baptist ministers, took turns preaching each Sunday at the morning and evening services.